Captain Black, your urban safetyist. Today's topic, urban safetyism tips. As you try to take your business or your event beyond the limitations of an urban environment, meaning you're trying to create something that is safer and more successful than the statistics might dictate, here are a few tips. 1. You must create awareness and responsibility everywhere, in your establishment and at your event. If you're waiting to dial 911 or think a trip down to City Hall is going to solve all your problems, you really need to close your doors and you really need to cancel your event. You, unlike your suburban and higher-end counterparts, will find yourself shouldering 100% and more of the safety responsibility for your establishment or your event. Urban locales are inherently time intensive. If you want to create value in these areas, then you have got to commit yourself to working sometimes around the clock to produce said value, to market said value, and to safeguard it, because the threats are going to come. Whether it's loitering, whether it's panhandling, to theft, burglary, and, Yahweh forbid, armed robbery. This goes with the territory. So my next tip is you got to decide how you will defend your event or establishment. And to do this, you've got to look at your comfort zone. Are you comfortable with saying, well, I've got liability insurance, I have cameras, I have an alarm system, I might have pepper spray, I may even decide to have a legal firearm inside your establishment. Obviously, if you're throwing an event, different rules apply. Usually, even concealed carry permittees in some states cannot carry firearms at their events. So you need to look at that as you're considering how do you protect yourself. Most people go the private security option. You hire a guard, armed or unarmed, either as an independent contractor or through a state licensed company. You outsource that part of your protective responsibility. But if it's not in your comfort level to do so, or you don't feel that it's an expense that you need to bear, then by default, the protective responsibility falls on your shoulders as a business owner or the event planner. Keep that in mind. These are just 2 tips out of thousands, but we need to be very clear that you have entered into a time-intensive, risk-intensive environment. That's not saying that people don't make money in the inner city, they do. But I have found that the people who usually profit the most in the inner city are the ones who follow these 2 urban safetyism tips. You can check out my blog, urbansafetyism.blogspot.com, for more commentary.